But we have a little drink tasting thing. So we'll tell you all about it later. But if you want to come up and just get a cup, I don't know if we have enough, so maybe one family share one cup lah, can ah? It's a cold drink. It's coconut tea.
Kelapa laut.
Kelapa laut.
Brown sugar. It's like brown sugar.
So what you can do is take one of the doors, and then walk up there to the stairs, and then on the left. Okay? Anything else? Yeah, if you've got phones, please put them on silent. Cool. You can take photos. No rules against that. Our hashtag is Love Malaysia. So hello everybody, Nunu Habar. Apa kabar? Okay, that's one of the wonderful things we have in Malaysia. You know, we have so many languages and so many ways of communicating, and sometimes even in one sentence, we have a lot of languages, right? So we wanted to start off tonight, this evening, by sharing one of the experiences we had while we were on a boat somewhere down south in Pontian. Let's let the video roll.
Saya tahu, tapi ya, saya tak berapa faham.
Okay, so as you can see, that's Gina over there, one half of the Songs and Stories, the stories part of Songs and Stories. My name is Juita, and I'm the, well, kind of songs part of the Songs and Stories. What we do is, because there are a lot of new faces today, what we do is we travel a lot. I travel to sing and do workshops, vocal workshops, or, well, different things. And Gina does the same, not to sing, but to
It will rain if I sing.
Gina goes around to tell stories and do writing workshops. And what happened was one day, you begin to exchange stories about, hey, did you know in Pontian, right, there's this thing. And you come back to KL, and a lot of people don't even know where Pontian is. Anybody know where Pontian is? Not bad. Okay, half yes and half no. It's in Johor, right? It's the southernmost part of Peninsular Malaysia. And we said, hey, why don't we do something to gather all these stories and share them on social media? Because at that time, which was about 3 years ago, right? If you scroll your social media, all you would see was very bad news all the time. It was one person chuchoking another person, and just bad news all the time lah. So we said, hey, why don't we try and bring that love for Malaysia? That Malaysia is more than, we can be very creative when we are in a negative mood, but let's punch some creativity, some positivity into social media. So that is how Songs and Stories started. Now, one of the things that we found ourselves doing a lot was getting onto boats. How many of you like boat rides? Yeah, so it was boats going to the islands lah, boat going down the river lah, and then this year we had the biggest adventure of our lives, going on a 3-hour boat ride in Sarawak. If you fly over Sarawak, right, you will see these windy teh tarik, right? And never in my life did I imagine that, hey, one day I'll get to ride a boat in that river. Not just the express, but even the little sampan perahu panjang yang, you just put your hand like that, you're already like touching the water already. So, yeah. And one of the boat rides that we had was in Sabah, right at the tip of Sabah. Sabah kan, it has like 2 ears at the top, right? We call it like the dog head, and then you have the 2 ears. One of the ears is this place called Pitas. And in Pitas, we discovered this legend, which Gina is going to tell you all about.
So you tell first or you press play?
You tell story first lah.
Okay. Okay. Today a lot of wires around because with the kids we thought we should just record them a little bit. So don't mind the mess. Okay. So when we were at Pitas, alright, so they took us on a boat ride out to this small little kampong. So small that everybody know everybody. It's probably like only 200-300 people kind of thing. But there live one of the most Sabah most significant legend. Alright, so the legend begins like this. So there's this guy, I don't remember names anymore. Gosh, I'm storyteller I am. Okay. So, yeah, there's so many stories that I was like mix them up a little bit because they're all like, native name. So what happened is there's this boy, young man, who wanted to make a very good life for the mother. Okay, the father has passed away, so 2 of them live together, single mother and the son. Alright, so one day the son spotted a ship that comes and board at the kampong. So he told the mother, okay, I'm going to go out and be a sailor and then come back successful and build you a nice house, give you a nice life and everything. So the mom said, I can't stop you from going. So he went. So he went on the ship and then he went sailing for many years, and he eventually married a princess. Okay, so when he married a princess, the king gave him his own ship. So now he is like I own a ship and then I married a princess and I sail, and then one day he sails back to his kampong, which is near Pitas lah, right? So he sails back to the kampong, okay? So we paused there for a little while. While we were sailing, the mom is at home going like, oh, my son is going to come back anytime. So every day she will cook his favorite food, 3 dulang, 3 dish, with that cover, that saji cover thing. And then she will wait by an edge closest to the open sea, and she'll wait. When the sun goes down, she goes back. She repeats it every single day. Okay? So one day when the sun ship came in, of course she didn't know it was the sun ship. Okay, he talked, and then she was still waiting. I was like, what ship is this? Okay, waiting, and then some of the villagers came and said, hey, that guy, the captain, looked like your son. Then she was so happy, so she ran all the way to the ship, and then she saw the son. Okay, but when the son saw her and wanted to acknowledge her as mother, the princess go, "Oh, that lady, that lady's all dark, old and haggard." And I said, "Wow, yeah." You know, like really like the princess really painted like she didn't want to have anything to do with this old lady. Okay, so the son was like, "Wow, like that, how to acknowledge my mom?" Because my wife like totally, you know, don't like my mom, so to say. So what he did was he denied the mom. Okay, and the mom came with all her dishes, everything. So when he denied the mom set a curse on him. Set a curse on him that every single thing that has to do with him turned into rocks. Okay, so you see the ship turned into a rock. So the ship was named Supira. Okay, so the whole ship turned into a rock, and then the 3 dishes also turned into a rock. So we will show you a video of how there is that tree thing in the middle of nowhere that you see. And then his mother's house turned into a rock. And then all his small boats turned into a rock. And then there was this dancing group who were dancing around to welcome him to the village, all turned into a rock. Okay. So when we arrived at the village, this guy who told us the legend also took us on a boat ride to show us, this is the 3 rock salji dishes. This is the dancing group of people. Can you see the faces and the head? And I'm like, quite look like king right now, you know. And then it shows us where the house is, and then it shows us all the 7 pointers of the story. So I'm going to show you the video that shows you how beautiful our ocean actually is.
Can the kids see? Y'all can stand
Y'all
up,
see?
you know? Yeah, okay. Here we go. Hey, we have arrived in Kampung Malubang in Pitas, the home of the Supira legend. This is Shigo Mokhtar, the local storyteller that everybody comes to find out a little bit more about the legend.
Legenda Supirak ini ada 7 keunikan yang berkaitan. Satu, kapal nakoda Supirak itu sendiri, batu gerawang, beri air tawar, pulau Kaugun, pulau batu berunsai, batu talam, dan batu dulang. Ketujuh-tujuh keunikan ini memang dia saling berkaitan tentang penceritaan legenda Supirak itu sendiri.
He's gonna bring us to see all the 7 places.
Nah, sekarang kita memang ke arah area pulau Kaugun.
Hey, is that one of them?
Tempat-tempat segitu. Nah, ini kita panggil batu berunsai. Jadi di tempat sini lah tempat labuh awalnya kapal.
This is where the ship docked. Then all these humility stones must be the welcoming party to dance and sing for Raga. Can you see the land behind Batu Berunsai? That used to be Kampung Kugun where Raga grew up. Time to look for the next stone. Batu Talam is where Raghav's mother served his favorite food. There's 3 plates. I wonder what are the 3 favorite foods were in.
Yeah, we can stand on those.
So there's a 3 plate. Hi, Teresa. Smile. It's like really in the middle of nowhere.
This stone is so cool. Wow, macam tudung saji that one.
Batu dulang. Ini dipanggil atau bermaksud tudung saji ataupun penutup makanan.
We're changing boats in the middle of the ocean. Gina's done. Gina? She can do it! Santa! We won't be able to see the freshwater well and Batu Gerawang because the tide's too high. So we're heading directly to Pulau Supira.
But do you think the ship is big for that era?
It's huge. Woo! Hey, but those were the eras of ships.
Sekarang kita berada di jetty.
They didn't tell me we have to climb stairs there.
we go right to the end is the head of the ship lah.
Right. Do the Titanic there. Ooh, another observation tower.
Itu Mbak, Banggi, tuna.
Okay.
Ini meliangi.
Okay.
Sana sebelah sana itu mengkubau. Tuh.
Wow. Wow. Let's hope we get to see burung tambun. Itu burung protected species. Bila nak sampai ni? Sudah.
Honestly, I think I'm losing my mind. I so stayed another night.
Hey everyone, we are at the helm of kapal Supira yang akhirnya disumpah menjadi pulau. Sampai pulau jadi. Tengok. That's the end of our Supira adventure. Has any of you been to somewhere like that? It was quite crazy lah, because we had the big boat, right? And then the small boat. And then when they said swap boats, we were like, how? After jatuh, how, you know? But some things you just have to have faith and just, yeah, the most you get wet, lor.
Really?
Yeah. And all your equipment, you know, and then no video, lor. But we never knew that there was this legend even. And we never knew that this is the poorest area in Malaysia. Pitas is known as the poorest district in Malaysia. If you've heard of Pulau Banggi, it's also just north of that. And it's so beautiful. In fact, one of the guys was saying, "Oh, this is my island." And it's like, just go there. And it's really, really his island lah. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but in Semenanjung, there's also a similar legend. It's called Si Tanggang.
Si Tanggang.
And also Maling Kundang.
Yep.
It's the same story.
Also disumpah jadi batu.
Yeah. Also with the mother.
Tapi nampak tak batu dia?
Do they have like the batu-batu?
There's some like the Maling Kundang thing. There's some like a stone or a man like asking forgiveness or whatever in the prostration. But I don't remember where.
Wow. Okay,
Correct, that's true. There's a few writers lah, cause I'm a writer. Okay, so I have a lot of children writer friends. They were also writing. So when I share this story with them, we discovered that Malaysia has at least 4 legends that's similar. And one is Sabah, one is Sarawak, and 2 is Semenanjung. Yeah, but so far it's only Sabah, this one, that has 7 locations that is still there that can be seen because no one knows about that and no one bothered. And the local people just go, nah, it's there lah, what are you doing? Right? You know? Yeah.
Yeah. So if Supira turned out badly, we have got 23 kids here who turned out pretty well. And yeah, we want to introduce to you Studio 2. Come, you want to take your place? Now as they're walking up, maybe I can cerita sikit as well. They first heard about Studio 2. Gina first heard of Studio 2 at Intermark, right? It was a Malaysia Day, Hari Kebangsaan event. And when I heard there was choral speaking, I was like, woohoo! Because I grew up in a school that choral speaking was our culture. And then I found out that Rihanna and I are from the same school. So I'm like, yeah, BBGS. So they are aged 8 to 13, is that right? Yeah, and this poem was written by Rihanna. Yeah. With their ideas. Okay. So here we go.
If you could just shout Merdeka when they say Merdeka, like Merdeka.
August 1957, Malaya gained independence. Everyone stood proud. Merdeka! Merdeka! Malaysia is a safe and peaceful country. I love to eat chicken. Yum yum. Let us take you on a journey. Our journey. Of what makes us young Malaysians proud Malaysians. Look, a crab.
kids and what's the vision lah?
Why? I don't know. Choral speaking seems to just be part of my life ever since school. I come from Bukit Bintang Girls' School. That's where choral speaking started. It was under Miss Cook. I think that was in the 1950s, if I'm not mistaken. So from there on, it kind of moved to the other schools. So now we have inter-class choral speaking, inter-school choral speaking competitions. But for me, when I left school, I seem to keep going back to doing choral speaking. I always asked back by the teachers, by past students, can you come and help us? Can you come and help us? So somehow, choral speaking has been a part of my life ever since I left school a long time ago. So these children are, well, they are all friends. They come from different places. We're not from a particular school, but because I enjoy teaching choral speaking, so I kind of catch all these kids and I torture them by repeating the lines over and over again because it's very tiring. Tiring or not? Yeah, sometimes they give me the eyes like, but if they don't do that, you wouldn't see what you just saw. Because at the end of the day, sometimes things are not what they seem. In the sense, in this case, it takes time for something to be like what you saw. There can be space, like for it to be better, but this is like 3 months of work every week. That also, I think, is not enough. So yes, that's why I love sharing choral speaking with the kids, and yes.
One last question.
Yes.
Why kids? Okay, I'm asking this because I know of choirs where they gather all the alumni, the people who used to be in the choirs. They're already like trained. Why kids?
Because 2 of mine are in there. Yeah, 2 of mine are in there, that's why. I wouldn't mind teaching adults if adults don't mind being tortured, but I don't think they can like take the... Yeah, it's not easy. They've tried.
The mommies have tried.
Yeah, some of the mothers tried. Yes.
Parents pay the money to torture.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for I hope you enjoyed the video. So I mean, if we don't share with the kids, right, then how are they going to know about all these things that we have and all this culture and everything, right? So talking about hang on. Talking about sharing. We were in Negeri Sembilan one day. I happened to be passing where? The stall around the road. And there was this guy who was selling gula anau. Okay? And we were wondering what was gula anau. So we came across, they told us, hey, there's this poem, about this thing. Hey, we will explain what's the connection to gula anau in a while. But so it goes, air kelapa minuman kita, sekali minum pasti tak lupa. Akan ingat sampai bila-bila, dapat menghilangkan haus dahaga, dapat sembuhkan penyakit lama. Atok kata, cuba dulu dan cuba rasa, dan rasa pasti terkiniang pula. Pasti nak tahu apa kisah sejarahnya, pasti nak tahu apa khasiatnya. So we're going to tell you a little bit about that drink that you had. It's called air janda pulang. But
I tell.
Yes.
Okay, this is my workstation today.
Do you need a mic?
Can you hear me?
Alright, great.
I'm just going to do a little bit. So, air janda pulang. Okay, if I translate, it means the widow return water, right? Yes. Okay. So, they told us this is Negeri Sembilan royal drink. Okay, the Sultan used to drink it in the palace and everything. But the story did not begin at the palace. They begin with this couple that husband and wife. Okay, the husband one day woke up and decided to I don't really like my wife and everything, so cerai. Okay, cerai, and then the wife became a janda. Alright, so why janda pulang? But the husband after cerai always think about this drink that the wife made. So because of that drink, he come back and tell the wife, please forgive me and marry me again. And then they got back happily ever after. Right? So that drink, the drink also had that revelation or that action to it, which was explained to this uncle that we find at the roadside. Okay, he basically said, all you need is a coconut, okay, gula anau, which is actually gula Melaka like that, but it's found at Kuala Pilah. Alright? It's like gula Melaka, palm sugar. Yeah. So we actually have palm sugar in Malaysia. Different states have different names, like gula Melaka from Malacca. Okay, then you have gula apung from Sarawak. Okay, then you have gula kabung from Pahang. So gula anau is from Negeri Sembilan, but specifically in Negeri Sembilan, Kuala Pilah side. Okay, so this is unmelted sauce gula anau, and then I have my coconut and my ice. So basically, how the wife does, I'm the wife. Okay. So she opens the coconut. Okay, she pours it out.
Wow.
Don't make a mess, you know. Okay. So she pours out the coconut water for her husband, and then she adds in this gula anau thing. I think it works very well for old coconut that's not sweet. Really. Because you know, some coconut, if it's not sweet and it's not cold, not nice lah. Then she does this lah. Basically she does this. Put the flesh out. Oi! Aku buat janda lagi. Okay, so she makes the flesh nicely. And then, why is it called janda pulang? Because it goes back into the coconut. Oh, sudah pulang. Okay, and then she adds ice. And then she serves it to the husband because it's raw. Oh, yeah. And then she serves it to the husband. So this is the drink that brought the husband back to her. Air janda pulang. Okay, so that was the drink that was served just now. So yeah, I'm done with story time.
Very well done. Give it up for Chef. Not you. Okay, so there was a question. What is gula anau? So obviously from Kuala Pilah, but we managed to see how they actually make this gula. And we found it in, well, it's the other version lah, the Pahang version, the cousin version, and it is called gula kabong. Okay, so this is how they make it.
In general, it's the same concept.
Hey y'all, we are at Budu and we're here to check out how they make gula kabong, which is apparently used to make dodol and onde-onde and all those nice yummy stuff for puasa. So yeah, we're going to check out how they make it. Apparently it comes from some tree.
According to Mr. Kamarul, gula kabong comes from the kabong tree, which can be found growing wild in Kuala Lumpur. Here's one that's growing right behind his house. To reach the palm blossom, these bamboo rods are secured to the trunk to help with the climb. 2 weeks before the harvest, the branch that holds the palm blossom needs to be knocked gently so that the sap can flow smoothly. A small incision will be made at the bottom of the palm blossom until the sap starts flowing. This sap will be collected in a container fully lined with mangosteen leaves to prevent the sap from turning sour. Puan Robia tells us that the sap cannot be eaten raw. It will be boiled and stirred for a few hours until it thickens. The mastery of fire is important to ensure that the sap does not burn at the bottom of the kuali. When it is done, it is cooled and poured into molds made from kabong leaves until it hardens. The gula kabong is then wrapped with dried leaves taken from the kabong tree, shining part outside with the non-shining part facing the inside. bit of twisting and turning, and we've got them all wrapped up. So the next time you're in Kuala Lumpur, remember to get some good old original gula kabung. You can mix it with coffee to get that caramelized taste, or if you happen to be diabetic, gula kabung would work great for you too. Till we meet next time on Songs and Stories, stay sweet!
Gula kabung. Yeah. So it's really interesting to realize that there's so many different palm sugar in in different states lah. Yeah. So this is how it looks like. Especially children, you hear gula Melaka, but this is gula anau. So it look exactly almost like gula Melaka, right? So the story has it that back when the British days, they have very little sugar. So the kampung folks need to find something to sweeten their stuff. So this is how this was discovered, right? So the interesting thing about a palm sugar tree is you cannot plant it. Okay, if you purposely plant a palm sugar tree to get the nira to make all this thing, the thing is not sweet. Okay, it has to be wild. So what happened with the kampung folk is, I have one tree. If you see one tree in the kampung and it's not on your land, you go there and you mark it as yours, and no one will touch it. And whatever that you harvest of them belongs to you. You finish harvesting, then done the next tree. So it has to be wild. It cannot be planted. So a lot of scientists have done research and tried to plant it. Until today, cannot. Every time they plant, no taste, tasteless. Yeah. So when we were so that's why just now we shared about the drink, right? So it's interesting that the drink was shared from one generation to another generation through that poem that she shared. So we actually purposely chose that story because of this whole, they are doing a poem, we also do a poem, but we don't have our own poem, so we need other people's poem now. Okay? Yeah. So what else is also comes from the written word? What do you think? What do you think, or what do you think Malaysians have that all inspired by the written word? For example, someone writes something and it become become a drink, become a something. Become a drink. Gosh, I get the word. Books. Okay. So there was one thing that's written and then it became a song.
Yes.
Right? Would you tell them about the song or something?
Okay, so we heard about this story about. It's quite ridiculous lah, but it's a story about this guy who wants to wed this girl, but then the girl's house has no door. Okay, so how to wed the girl when there's no door? So we're gonna let this video roll, and if you don't know the story and you don't know the song, you'll know it by the end of this video. Here we go.
Arranged to set up a cultural group, one of the earliest ones, and taught them Portuguese songs and Portuguese words. Sing! Câmara que foi Santa Cala, vem vai vai olá agus namoro para
So Portuguese music is very happy. Very happy. Yeah, it's always very happy, jump here, jump there, if you listen to the song, every song tells a story. Yeah. Like even Jukil, it's a story. Yeah. About David, right? The wife, they married. They want to get married, no, get married. Why is it that her house got no door? Yeah. But there are some songs that tell you really nice stories about families or the fishermen or correct. So your parents teach you the song? We listen. Basically, we're exposed to music from very young.
So do you share the songs now to your son?
Yeah, you can actually find him singing and running in that song. Because every time there's cultural performances, wedding, must have. Yeah. Weddings, we must have Portuguese song, right?
Casa,
Okay, not bad. Actually, I also didn't know. I've heard the song, when I was growing up. I grew up in Malacca, but I did not know that it was a Portuguese song. So something happened to me one day. I was in a shoe shop. Okay, I was in this shoe shop, and then they had a very nice Asli version of Jingkli Nona playing. So Asli music. It has a very significant rhythm, which is not like that lah. It's very different. And so I spoke to the guy. I'm like, hey, this arrangement, I really like this arrangement because it's so Malaysian. It's Portuguese song, but in Malay Asli arrangement lah. So I asked him, where can I get it? Are you playing Spotify or YouTube or where can I get this song? And then he says, oh, ni lagu Melayu. I'm like, bukan, ni lagu Portuguese. Then he's like, bukan, ni lagu Melayu asli. I'm like, ya rentak dia asli tapi. And then we went on lah, this thing lah, then I finally gave up. But the thing is, you see, a lot of times we don't know things because it was never told to us. Do you know what I mean? Marianne is here. Marianne was on the video, you can get her autograph after this. But there were times that we were talking and we were saying, hey, how come I don't know this, Or the mother said, you never asked me what? And then you're like, but how can I ask you if I don't know this thing, right? So sometimes, as parents, as people who know these stories, it's very important to tell these stories. Another encounter that I had was also in music. I was talking to this friend. His name is Peter. He is Lumbawang. Any of you heard of it? Yeah, Lumbawang is a tribe in Sarawak. They've got a cousin tribe in Sabah. And there's this whole Sape movement that has come out of Sarawak. Okay, so Sape is like a lyre, right? A stringed instrument that is from the Kelabit tribe. Well, mostly from the Orang Ulu. Okay, so this guy Peter was learning and he's playing and he knows how to make Sape and all that. And one day his uncle goes up to him and goes, hey Peter, kenapa you main Sape? Kenapa tidak main Lumbawang punya? And he's like, Lumbawang adakah? Does Lumbawang even have our own instrument? And he's like, yeah! He's like, and where do I find it? Oh, dekat rumah ada, di kampung, rumah panjang. So this guy is like, oh, I want to go and see. Oh my gosh, we've got our own instrument, right? And he goes back to his rumah panjang, and to his horror, the instrument is called the tapi. Okay, like tapi, T-A-P-I, but yeah, it's called tapi lah. It was strung on the ceiling or on the side, on the top, just next to the stove where they cook, right? And it was all black lah because obviously charcoal, you cook, smoke and everything. It was all black. It's like, what a place. But I told him maybe, right, the cooking, the asap, right, actually saved the instrument because you would know that wood and rotan and all that, when kena asap, it preserves it so you don't get termites and everything. That's what somebody told me lah. Have to verify that, yes. So, so he took it down, refurbished it, cleaned it up, and slowly he began to learn how to play the tapi, and he's making tapi now. And he's like, what if his uncle didn't tell him that he had that instrument? 10 years from now, when the thing report ready, it would have gone extinct because nobody knows how to play, nobody even has the instrument, and yeah. So I think one of the things that we cherish most as we travel also is getting to know people who are making a difference that way, like keeping, making all these things available for the next generation to enjoy. So like the Studio 2 was saying, conserve what we have and share it, and who knows, they might make it better, they might add to it, they might innovate and make it even better. So we've got one last video for you today. And this is something that you can do when you go to Penang if you're looking for a holiday thing. What can I do? Where can I bring my kids?
Yeah, your children will spend the whole day there and don't come out.
Actually, I also wanted to stay over there.
She said, we just go 2 hours. She said, we hardly started, it's 2 hours, it's gone.
Yes.
Yeah, very nice.
So presenting the Penang House of Music. Good morning, Malaysia. We are broadcasting live from the Penang House of Music, and this is Rose Rose I Love You by Zainal Alam. Ooh, here comes the boss. Shall we start from the very beginning?
Yeah.
So you are, yes.
It started from collecting personality profiles. Because we found out that a lot of people do not know who Jimmy Paul was or Ahmad Marika and all first. So we were looking for a space to open the resource center. Here what we do is we celebrate the musicians and the music.
Well, here are some things you could do to celebrate.
Okay, so what is the most trademark traditional music of Penang?
Dondang Sayang for me. Dondang Sayang is cool because it's a marriage of Malay and Chinese. And it's mixed with Malay music but sung by Baba Nyonya.
Dondang Sayang buat tempatan.
This is just one aspect of the Dondang Sayang.
What you doing?
Checking out our archive of things.
So Gina is already checking out the resource center. Basically, it's a database of all things that we've digitized. So we have a collection of 8,000 vinyls which we have uploaded, 1,000 pieces of newspaper clippings and pictures. And basically this place you can come and listen to music, vinyls, because a lot of people haven't seen this nowadays. So So we have an app where there's basically information about the place, information about the things that you see in the museum.
Tracks. Yes. And the tracks. Soundtrack for you. That's it for today. Stay tuned for more discoveries on Songs and Stories. Yes, so that's it for today. We want to thank all of you for coming. I think this is one of the biggest turnout ever. This is our third time. We have this once a month. Yes. You can check out our Facebook page, Songs and Stories. But yeah, before that, we want to say thank you once again to Studio 2 for joining us, for bringing such joy. I was so moved. And yeah, if we can get the boss. Where's Rehana gone? Mana bos? Kami nak bagi token sikit lah, token appreciation sikit. Wakil je lah. Sikit je lah. So kids, y'all collect from, what do y'all call the boss? Huh?
The boss?
The boss. The conductress.
Okay. So each of them has your name. Okay, make sure you take the correct name because we actually wrote you a love letter, personalized each one. So you take your friends, Kira, okay? So this one, just that.
Yes, okay, so yes, I know everybody coming to take a photo, but the cafe will be open for the next 45 minutes or so. So they've still got, I think they've still got food, good dinner. I think the air jandu pulang sudah habis. But you can figure out how to make your own at home, quite easy, right? I think. Yeah, oh, ada kat dalam sana, huh? Maybe. Yeah, so thank you very much for coming. We'll see you again next one.
okay, it's okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3, all the girls. Okay, all the boys here. Lucas, Mika, come. 1, Ezra. 1, 2, 3. Okay, got it.